And what happens is the buyer believes I don't have to pay a commission. And because I'm not paying a commission, that means all these home prices are finally going to be lower. You're seeing an awful lot of confusion in the marketplace and wild, wild west, because all of a sudden they believe this particular job, this particular employee works for free. It would almost be like the government saying hourly wages are now negotiable. So all the employers, Taco Bell, McDonald's, Walmart, they're like, oh yeah, it's negotiable. I don't want to pay you. Okay, dude, then I'm not working. Well, I'm only going to pay you $1.50. Then I'm not. Commissions have always been negotiable. Pay has always been negotiable. But now that this is top of mind presence, it's coming up, and they believe they can negotiate absolutely everything, including the terms of the contract and crossing out words like when they would have to pay you. So I can promise you, if you go on 10 appointments, you're going to have 10, one of them won't say a word. Hey, whatever you say, that's what we're going to do. 2 or 3 of them are going to say, I don't want to pay you at all. 2 or 3 of them are going to say, if the seller can't pay the money, I don't have the money. That's the only way I'm going to be able to buy. If you can't get the seller to pay, I can't pay you. You're going to have all of these things come up. So you need to be well versed on how you're going to handle this. They're going to need to pay you. Like, your agreement needs to be very specific. It needs to be for a specific amount of time, for the length of the contract, and it has to very specifically say a number. Be clear about this. You cannot say 3% or whatever the seller is willing to pay. You cannot say 2.5% negotiable. It can't be cloudy. It has to be a very clear percentage or dollar number. Not negotiable. You're negotiating now. So you have to be clear about that. It can't be whatever the seller is willing to pay me. You can't do that. It's not, you are not inside the guidelines of the new rule. Okay. Now, as we get into this might as well be a freaking political debate, because there's going to be a lot of people that get mad because they're standing on, I don't have to have this signed. I can do 3%. We don't want to go that route. It's the same as having a board of realtors meeting. Everybody leaves pissed off and thinking it was a complete waste of their time, and nobody agrees on anything. That is going to be the general marketplace. If the agents themselves can't agree, imagine we're trying to get buyers and sellers to do this when they do this one time every 7 years. They simply think it's going to be free. That's it. And what happens is the buyer believes I don't have to pay a commission, and because I'm not paying a commission, that means all these home prices are finally going to be lower. But the seller believes I don't have to pay that commission, which saves me a lot of money, so I'm going to net more money from my high sales price. No seller is like, oh, I don't have to pay their 3%? Oh, well, just reduce the price 3 then. Nobody believes that. So we have a difference of opinion from the buyer to the seller, and we have real estate agents that can't agree on anything at all. That's the reality of where we're at today. So the last thing we need to do is have a meeting from the National Association of Realtors or your local board of realtors or a local attorney that comes in and they want to tell you the laws. Here's the freaking law. Get an agreement signed before you show a home. That's it. Okay. Well, how do I do that now? But, well, you just have to have it signed or you can't show the home. That's an attorney telling you that. That's the NAR or the Board of Realtors telling you that. Yeah, but we got to have a little tact in order to follow that rule. What do I say to them? How do I conquer those objections? Give me some sales training on how I can make that work. So I want you to participate in this. I am a buyer, and I want to buy a house, and you're going to show me that property. So I pull up and I see you're already in the driveway. I get out and I come over and I shake your hand. Hi, I'm Greg. I'm looking to buy this house here. Thanks so much for showing the home to me. What do you say from there? You're not going to say, let's go take a look at the home. You're not going to do any of that. You have to address the fact that we need a signed contract before you can unlock the door. What do you say? I need a signed contract. Are you familiar with the new law? What are we going to say to have the right languaging for that buyer to say, sure, I'll pay you $17,000. Now unlock the door. What are we going to say? Now, you might need to do this beforehand on the phone. It's going to be tougher on the phone. You know why? They'll call someone else. This rule has made us appear to be more dispensable and replaceable. I'll just call someone else. If you won't do it for cheap, someone else will. I'll find a realtor that will do it for $1,500 flat fee. And by the way, over the next few weeks, you will see agents that are advertising flat fee, $1,500 will represent your best interest. Before we get started, I need you to sign my buyer's rep agreement and my IABS before we go inside. Okay. Well, I don't want to sign anything. That's what they're going to say. And we'll role play all of this out. I'd prefer to have a buyer consult and go over everything. The commission we specified on the buyer's agreement will be the max commission if the seller is willing to pay 3%, but your agreement has 2.5%. You can only receive 2.5%. That is correct. Whatever your agreement says, if you say you're willing to represent them for $1,500 and that seller is paying 2%, you're not allowed to take it. It's 2% in buyer allowed closing costs or concessions. Your contract can't be adjusted to more. That would go towards the rest of the buyer's closing costs. You can't say $1,500 or more if the seller's giving it. That is specifically against your rule. Your number is your number. You can't negotiate it up just because the seller was offering more. That's the seller is offering buyer closing costs, which means it would go towards their appraisal. A lot of you saying you're already seeing $500 flat fees. You're already seeing $1,500 flat fee. That is happening, and it will continue to happen. And though those people will fail, those agents are going to go bankrupt. They are taking business from you. The deal will close. Okay, so it is happening. You should not be using scripts. You should not know what you want to say, but they never say the line exactly the right way for this to fit. So then you get confused. You just need to know your stuff.
Hey, it's Greg Luther, and listen, if you don't follow this channel, there's a good chance you're never going to see me again. I consistently put out regular content, and it's extremely helpful for real estate agents to grow their business. I want to keep you up to date on what's working so that you're in the know and you can take action accordingly. So be sure that you like and comment here, but most importantly, make sure you follow, share, and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on anything. I'm here to help you in growing your business, and I'd love to do so. Follow right now.